Chris Fowler here, along with Lee Corso and Kirk Herbstreit, Mike Tirico, standing by for moral support. But we'll take you through a full half hour of scores and highlights. Written off by some this morning, the Auburn Tigers go into Georgia and take up each of the hedges. It's a very interesting day for the SEC. We'll get to all of that on the Residents in the Scoreboard. But first of all, we'll start out in the Big Ten with the second-ranked team in the coaches poll and the AP #1 team, Michigan, going to Wisconsin. Once again, the story, dominant defense for the Wolverines and a patient, methodical offense. But a trick play here as Charles Woodson takes the pass from Brian Greasy, throws it back to old Grease, who tries to get in, but comes up just short. That would set up a touchdown run in the second quarter. 7-0. Greasy rolls out. Ty Streets makes the big catch. Michigan 13-zip after the point fail. But in the closing seconds of the first half, Mike Samuel punches it in. It's 16-10. Chris Howard later tries to seal the victory. Muscles in. Wisconsin gets a late touchdown. The Wolverines win it, though, 26-16 to go to 10-0 as they host the Buckeyes next week in Ann Arbor. The 7-game home winning streak is snapped for Wisconsin. Ron Dane did not play at all. Only 235 yards total offense for the Badgers. Some post-game reaction.
This is a very, very tough place to play. Wisconsin was ready to play. It was a very physical game. And, yeah, it's great to win a championship, at least to have part of it. But we got the biggest game in our schedule coming up.
It's a big feeling right now, but we don't want to share it. We want to win it outright. So we're going to go in next week and put together a good game plan and try to win next week also.
Other side of the Rose Bowl equation, critical game, Washington visiting UCLA. Here's Brock Huard to Jawarn Hooker. Keeps his feet in the back of the end zone. 28-yard touchdown. The point was missed, a 20-14 game. After that, Skip Hicks. Cade McNown fakes the handoff, then flips it back over to Hicks, who makes the great move, gets the nice block, and tightrope 67 yards, 21-20 UCLA. Bruins led by 8 at the break. In the third quarter, Hicks again goes right. Held in check his entire career by the Huskies. The big guy busts loose today. Third touchdown of the game. Makes it 38-20, and the Bruins just pour it on. Taking the Huskies behind the woodshed. Skip Hicks, 147 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also caught 3 passes, 106 yards, and another touchdown receiving. So 253, all-purpose, very, very sweet victory for Hicks.
We were together today. Everybody played hard. We wanted to win this game better than anything, just to keep our chances alive to go to the Rose Bowl. You know, we can't really control whether Washington State win or not, but we can control our 2 games, and that's what we want to do.
And we'll talk about the Rose Bowl implications coming up. He spoke of the Cougars. They are hosting Stanford this afternoon. Todd Husak passes to Troy Walters, and the quarterback who's replaced Chad Hutchinson completes the touchdown pass. They're 10-7 Cougars. Then Ryan Leaf gets it going over the middle here to Sean McKenzie. And then Leaf to Chris Jackson for the short touchdown pass. And the Cougars win it 38-28. Leaf throws for 258. Michael Black rushes for 173 yards. 8 catches for Chris Jackson. He caught a couple of touchdown passes. Elsewhere in the Pac-10, Arizona State hosting Oregon, which comes off the win over the Huskies. J.R. Redmond busted up. Where is somebody? Wide open, weaving through the secondary there. 54 yards, 10-zip Sun Devils. Later in the first half, Ryan Keeley to Ricky Boyer over the middle. 17-zip at that point. Arizona State trying to put away the Ducks. Still a 2-touchdown margin. Oregon alive. 15 minutes to play in the Sun Devils Stadium. Back to the Big Ten. You've gone left, right, in the middle, and back again when it comes to Michigan and what would happen in the polls.
I was wrong. Michigan took care of business. I was very impressed the way they played today. Good offensive and defensive game plan. They'll stay #1 in the poll. Florida State will stay #1 in the coaches poll. And old poor Nebraska wins by 63 and goes nowhere. Yo.
I'll tell you what, Michigan Wolverines, you're right. You're bouncing back and forth, but the Michigan Wolverines were very impressive. They've been doing this all season long. People have been waiting for them to lay the big egg, and all of a sudden they come out and play a great football game. They deserve to stay put at #1, but I'll tell you what, the game next weekend against Ohio State will be their biggest challenge, not only because it's the big rivalry, but the Ohio State offense right now is kicking it into high gear. David Boston, D. Miller, Pepe Pearson, Joe Germain, and Stanley Jackson, a lot of weapons on one offense. I don't think Michigan's seen that kind of offense yet this year.
Talked about the convoluted scenarios in the Pac-10 now. Arizona State, a team that not a lot of people have talked about for the Rose Bowl, but looking good again tonight, trying to hold the lead against Oregon.
Yeah, Arizona State is a team you don't want to play. We've talked quite a bit about UCLA, but Arizona State quietly continues to have a fantastic year. They can go on next week to beat Arizona. They can end up 9-2. If they don't get their luck with the Rose Bowl, they still can go to the Fiesta Bowl. But let me close with saying Skip Hicks of UCLA is a war daddy. We've talked about him all year long. He is the top candidate as far as the NFL running backs are concerned. He is the best out there.
Bruins will be a very dangerous opponent in the Rose Bowl. They still have to beat USC and also hope that Washington State can come up and beat the Huskies. They would have the tiebreaker over Washington State there. We talked about the Seminoles and the Cornhuskers trying to win big. Florida State tries to close out against Wake Forest. It's senior day, the final home game for the seniors who had never lost a game at Doak Campbell Stadium. In the first quarter, Seminoles, well, taking care of business very quickly here. Thad Busby, the fellow senior E.G. Green, 14-0 quickly. Busby, 3-12 in the first half. Later on, Busby to Melvin Pearsall. 45 yards later, the big tight end is outrunning the defensive backs for Wake Forest, 21-0. Bowden's defense strong again. Tony Bryant, unsung member of that defensive unit, makes the interception of Ben Sankey, takes it to the house, 28-0 Florida State. Skip ahead now to the third quarter, some playing time for the backup Dan Kendra and the backup wide receiver, a future star here, Jermaine Stringer. I don't know.
Guys you never even heard of.
Green and Warwick and all the other guys. And here's Jermaine Stringer, a sign of the future. Florida State, 58-7 over Wake Forest to go to 10-0. The significance of that, it is the 11th consecutive 10-win season. It's an amazing, accomplishment. You put it in historical perspective. The next longest streak of 10-win seasons was Miami in 85-92. No other school has ever had a streak longer than 5 years where they've won 10 consecutive games. Nebraska can get to their 5th consecutive year of 10 wins if they beat Colorado in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, today the Huskers taking care of Iowa State, offense, defense, and also special teams. Bobby Newcomb, the high school quarterback, great wingback and also returner, and a monster day for Amon Green. Barely touched right here. Green rushes for 3 touchdowns, records his 9th straight 100-yard game. Actually over 200, 15 carries for 209 yards as the Huskers win their 42nd consecutive home game and a wind chill factor of -2. We're taking you to motorsports. The Atlanta Motor Speedway, the ARCA Bondo Marhide 500K is coming up, but more college football still ahead.
So, sir, I think that I could be a real asset to your company.
Jenkins, I think we can use a man like you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For about the price of an ordinary hotel, Residence Inn offers you a living room, too, just in case you need one. Residence Inn by Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe.
I need it when I'm working, when I play. My Chevy truck goes with me every mile of the way. Ain't that tough been good?
The Chevy S10. It's one tough truck, and only Chevy gives you so many choices. Regular cab, extended cab, and the one and only 3-door. And right now, an equipped S10 regular cab is only $179 a month. Hurry to your Southern Chevy dealer, where you'll get a tough truck and a deal that's tough to beat.
This college football scoreboard is presented by Residence Inn by Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe.
Well, welcome back to the Residents Inn Scoreboard. In the SEC tonight, Tennessee knows what it lays in front of it. They have to win the 3 ball games to get to that championship game. The first one down in Arkansas, a very cold evening down in Little Rock as Peyton Manning and company goes searching for the win, and also Manning for the milestone, trying to get 118 yards to reach 10,000. Early in Tennessee's first drive, Manning flips it out, and Jamal Lewis picks up a lot of yards, bouncing off people. The freshman gets into the end zone, and the ball is so far so good early on, the 7-0 lead. But then the Hogs get a field goal, and then Manning in his own end flips it off the hand of Lewis and picked off by Jeremy Flowers. And he eludes the tackle of Manning, gets into the end zone, and look out. It's been upset day and night in the SEC, and the Hogs lead midway in the second quarter, 10-7. We'll keep a very close eye on that one. Notre Dame traveling down to Baton Rouge, needing the win to stay alive for a bowl. 4th and 1 play in the first quarter, and Paulus rolls right to Jamari Holloway. Big first down, gets inside, sets up the 1st and goal. Later on, Autry Denson, right side. Into the end zone, Irish strike first. It's 17-0 in the third quarter when Denson takes off again. Left side, 34-yard romp, ball down to the 3-yard line. 2 plays later, Clement Stokes busted in there, 1 yard out, and Notre Dame beats LSU 24-6 to level the record at 5-5. Still need 2 more wins to go bowling. A disastrous day for LSU as they lose this ball game, and they get the win by Auburn over Georgia, which is damaging for LSU's chances in the SEC West. Speaking of the SEC West, Mississippi State visiting Alabama. James Johnson, out of Mobile, Alabama, chose not to play for the Crimson Tide. Instead today, he beats them 83 yards on that touchdown, 14-7 State. Then on the toss sweep on 4th and 2, Johnson down the sidelines, 41 yards, 198 yards, and a couple of touchdowns for the Mobile native. And the 25th ranked Bulldogs hand Alabama a 4th consecutive loss in Tuscaloosa. They get the sweep over Alabama and Auburn for the first time since 1980, and the tie to 0-4 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Here are the standings now in that Western Division after the Auburn victory. LSU and Mississippi State all with 2 losses, but Mississippi State has the tiebreaker over Auburn. LSU also loses the tiebreaker to Auburn. In the Eastern Division, stand by as the Volunteers, as we told you, trailing. Spurrier got half of the equation already today. He needed the Georgia loss. He gets that. He needs the Tennessee loss, and he said, who knows? He could possibly have it. He's trying to talk those teams into losing, but it's wild in the SEC.
Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah. It's Bear Bryant. He says Alabama's playing so bad he wants his name taken off the stadium. Call it Denny Stadium from now on. Let me tell you something. Alabama's got problems. They got big-time problems. You got to give Auburn a lot of credit because they got Alabama next week, and Auburn's staff did a tremendous job. They got beat 20-0, come back, and then beat Georgia. Good job by the Auburn staff.
Yeah, you and I were both on the wrong end on that pick. I thought the Auburn Tigers and Damian Craig just flawless with everything. Execution on offense, aggressive on defense. But I'll tell you what, you want to be looking at this SEC West. If you're LSU and if you're Mississippi State, sure, you want to go out and win football games, but they have never in their lives paid attention to the Auburn-Alabama game like they will this year, because if Alabama wins, it'll decide if LSU goes, and if Auburn wins, then Mississippi State goes. So it is a crazy, crazy race.
And meanwhile, that SEC Eastern Division, which many people had just given to Tennessee, all of a sudden that's a little bit shaky as we continue to track that score. Elsewhere in the top 25, we'll take you now to the Big Ten, where the Buckeyes had a tune-up game for the big battle with Michigan next week, hosting Illinois. Here's Ahmed Plummer. Picks off the pass and takes it the other way. 86 yards on the convoy. The Buckeyes allow only a defensive touchdown in the final minute, and they crush the Illini. The move to Ann Arbor with only 1 loss. Penn State and Purdue. Mike McQuarrie scrambles here. He's going to find Curtis Enos for the touchdown. Penn State rolls over the Boilermakers to bounce back in style, 42-17. In the Big 12, Kansas State had not beaten either Colorado or Nebraska in the last 4 years. Well, you can change that because they go out and they beat the Buffs. Bishop to Justin Swift for the touchdown. Now in the ACC, Carolina, how would they bounce back? There's Jonathan Linton. Bursts up the middle, 5-yard touchdown run, and Carolina wins it by a touchdown. Other scores, Florida over South Carolina. blew it open big. It was tight for a while. Northwestern closes the season. They will not go to a bowl, but they go out in style, beating Iowa for the 3rd consecutive year. Elsewhere, Texas A&M taking Oklahoma out behind the woodshed, 37-0. That game is still midway in the 3rd quarter. And Texas Tech, inspired, despite the fact that they're not going to be eligible to play in that conference championship game, they go to Stillwater and they beat Oklahoma State 27-3. Well, Lee, I'm sorry, we have to show you the scorecard here. This is on College Game Day. I don't see many X's on your side.
Well, let me tell you guys the problem was. Hey, come on, camera, let me show you. It was this unlucky pencil.
Oh, okay.
I'm not using that pencil
Get rid
anymore.
of that pencil. You're going to come out with a new one next week.
Killed me.
For Judgment Day, too, he's going to have a brand new pencil.
But you are, I believe, +3 for the season.
You're
Now,
both
so you're
+3.
dead even coming in today. You've got 2 weeks to make it up. We talked about the big Auburn-Alabama game, which will have major implications for that SEC Western Division Championship. It is in prime time next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern Time. We're coming back.
For about the price of an ordinary hotel, Residence Inn gives you a full kitchen, a living room, and 50% more space.
Out.
What you do with all that extra space is up to you. Residence Inn by Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe.
Oh, a tea cozy. What a perfect gift for Harry and Sue.
Oh, Harry and Sue wouldn't like that. Let us stick it in the closet next to the fondue set. Get him a Stegosaurus.
A Stegosaurus?
Or maybe a Vince Lombardi.
Let me see that. I could mail this to Al.
No! You'd mail these? These are special editions!
Oh, my.
Check this out.
A book.
The 97 yearbook of special edition stamps.
What's so special?
Special? Look!
Oh, Humphrey Bogart.
What, do you just stick them on a page?
No. You carefully slide them into the sleeve and place them on the page. You just don't lick bogey.
This would be perfect on their coffee table.
Get the 97 yearbook with all this year's special edition stamps for just $39.95. Call now and get a beautifully crafted slipcase free.
You work here?
Call 1-800-STAMP-24 to get the 97 yearbook. Some stamps you just can't lick.
And welcome back to the Residence Inn Scoreboard. For motorsports fans, the ARCO Bondo Mar Hyde 500 is coming up shortly. Syracuse and Pittsburgh in the Big East. Syracuse still with Alliance Bowl hopes. Pittsburgh trying to get to just any bowl and beat Syracuse for the first time in the 90s. But Kevin Johnson made another big play on special teams for the Cuse. Takes the kickoff here. It was 19-8 Orangemen in the 4th quarter when he took this back to make it 26-8. The lead seemed safe. But keeping it real, all right. But the Panthers kept it real by coming back 26-15. Then Billy West, the 2-yard plunge. Now it's a 5-point game, even after the missed 2-point conversion. 2:15 left. First and goal again. The Panthers busted in behind West. A 1-point lead. But back come the Orangemen in the final minute. Donovan McNabb to Quentin Spotwood. You need a big play. You go to number 8, Syracuse. Marches down the field and beats Pittsburgh 32-27. A sigh of relief from the Fiesta Bowl. Possible Syracuse could head out there. They need a Virginia Tech loss, though. Spotwood, 8 catches for 109 yards. West Virginia beats Temple 41-21. Amos Zaraway did not play, and Temple losing 4 turnovers. That was key in the game. So the standings in the Big East Conference. It's a very complicated tiebreak procedure. It would be the choice of the bowls, provided that the team they choose is not ranked 5 spots or more below another team that's tied for the division title. So the Virginia Tech-Virginia game, even though it's a non-conference game, could factor in very important. Syracuse, by the way, closing at Miami. In the WAC, Brigham Young and New Mexico. This game is tonight. In Albuquerque, the Lobos trying to beat the Cougars. A touchdown pass in the back of the end zone. Let's watch and enjoy these together here. And Dennis Francis, wait a second. Are we going to close this out here? He's excited.
We expected to win.
Act like we expected to win.
Well, I think they expected to win. The Lobos getting it done, and he got the Gatorade bath there at the end. And New Mexico beats BYU. They control their destiny. If they beat Tulsa next week, they will go to that WAC championship game. It ends a 16-game losing streak against BYU. Speaking of Tulsa, what a heartbreaking loss against SMU. They had a touchdown that would have tied it. They mishandled the point after with 18 seconds to go that would have forced overtime. So the Ponies still alive. Elsewhere, Utah State in the Big West beating Nevada 38-19. It clinches the Big West berth in the Sports Humanitarian Bowl December the 29th in Boise, Idaho. Back to the Long Johns. Hey, Southern Miss gets the Liberty Bowl berth out of Conference USA by blanking Houston 33-0. Harold Shaw had a couple of touchdown runs. A lot of subplots as Marshall and Ohio got together. At stake, a bid in the MAC championship game opposite Toledo, and at stake for Randy Moss, a Division I record. He came in 1 touchdown reception short of that record. And Chad Pennington, who's been battling Tim Couch for the touchdown pass lead all season, gets this one into Lavorne Cold Claw, 14-0 Marshall in the 4th quarter. No record yet until this catch right here. Randy Moss from 25 yards out. Tossed the ball in the stands. Randy, what are you doing? Hold on to that ball. It's one for the trophy case. Marshall defense does a great job blanking the Ohio option. So Marshall will host Toledo on ESPN in that MAC championship game December the 5th. Here's where Randy Moss stacks up now. The 22 touchdown receptions, tying the 1A record held by Manny Hazard of Houston back in '89. He falls short of the Jerry Rice all-division record of 27 at Mississippi Valley State. Once again, the ARCA Bondo Marhide 500 is coming up minutes away. Still more football to talk about right after this.
Take everything you ever knew about cruiser motorcycles, everything you ever learned from your older brother, your friends, biker movies, and throw it out. Because the Marauder is a cruiser like no other, one only a high-performance company could have built. The Suzuki Marauder. It's time to move on.
When it comes to choosing the right motor oil, let's make something perfectly clear. Introducing 3 new oils from Quaker State, specially formulated for the vehicle you drive. Synthetic blends for hard-working engines and high-horsepower engines. A full synthetic for ultimate engine protection. Extra filtered with patented micro-Q filtration to ensure your oil starts clean for a difference you can see and trust. So when it comes to protecting your vehicle, why take a chance? Quaker State. The choice is clear.
It's the greatest spectacle in off-road racing, the granddaddy of them all, the legendary Baja 1000. Mile after grueling mile of relentless terrain that can shake the fillings out of a driver's teeth and beat a truck to death. That's why more drivers who challenge the Baja rely on the Duralast battery than any other. The same Duralast you can rely on in your car, because it's the one we stock at AutoZone. The Duralast battery, power you can depend on.
And welcome back to the Residents Inn Scoreboard. An emotional day in Grambling, Louisiana, the final home game for Eddie Robinson. Now, first we'll show you Tennessee and Arkansas. This is Marcus Nash getting in the end zone. Would it be an emotional night for the Volunteers fans if they don't beat Arkansas? Right now, it's a 4-point lead for the Volunteers over the Razorbacks. As I mentioned, the final home game for Eddie Robinson at Grambling. After 57 years in coaching, the Grambling team taking on North Carolina A&T. All kinds of pomp and pageantry, a pregame ceremony with Coach Robinson honored, a lot of his former players there, and a very emotional Robinson paying tribute to the fans of Grambling.
We've been friends since '41. Right here now is the Eddie Robinson that you have made, you and the players who played at Grambling State University. Thank you very much.
Now, Grambling fell way down early. This is Michael Bass night, where North Carolina A&T on the reverse takes the ball 42 yards for the touchdown. The Tigers fell way behind, made a valiant effort trying to win it for Robinson in his final home game, but they come up short 37-35 to fall to 3-7 heading to the Bayou Classic in New Orleans against Southern next week. Your thoughts on Coach Robinson with one game to go in a great career?
No question about one thing. Eddie Robinson was a great man coaching football, and he made all of us who made coaching a livelihood very proud to be football coach. He was a tremendous human being. Still is, but most important, a great man, not only a great football coach.
I know he would have liked, obviously, to go out a winner in his final season, but you saw that team fight from behind and try to get him the win in the final game.
It was the uniforms.
Ugly. Be a lot more emotion when they take on Southern down in New Orleans, really the Bayou Classic that he made famous. Siena and Marist in Poughkeepsie, New York. This was an interesting battle in Division I AA as he had a battle of the great rush defense, one of the great rush defenses for the ages of Marist, statistically anyway, against Siena. And a battle of Reggie Green trying to get a milestone. Marist wins the game 34-9, but Reggie Green, and rushing for 80 yards on 25 carries, finishes his career with 5,415 career yards. That's a new 1AA record. Third in Division I, period, behind only Tony Dorsett and Charles White. And Reggie Green played in fewer games, only played 35 career games, 5,415 yards. Speaking of records, quarterback Bill Borchert of Mount Union, 47 touchdowns, 1 interception this year. He now has 141 career touchdown passes, breaks Willie Totten's all-division career record, and Mount Union's 24-game win streak is now the longest in the nation in any division. Sports Center minutes away. Of course, plenty of highlights. That's 11:30 Eastern time after the racing.
Trailers for sale or rent, rooms to let 50 cents. Mama, man of means by no means, king of the road. 2 hours of pushing broom buys an 8, 12, 4-bedroom. Mama, man of means by no means, king of the road.
We have a deal. Today, the best opportunities are global, and so are we.
We see a huge market development.
The Equitable, a strong and trusted partner in the U.S.
This combination means new growth for both partners.
AXA, a global powerhouse in 50 countries with more than $500 billion under management.
Here, have a look at the future.
AXA and Equitable. Global reach from a trusted friend. Equitable is a member of the Global AXA Group.
Why is America on America Online?
It puts the whole internet right at my fingertips.
You can send instant messages just like that.
The news is breaking. I've got it now.
I can stay a little closer to my family.
You've got mail.
America Online. Easy to use. Friendly menus.
Put in the disk, click, you're online.
And we've been working night and day to more than double capacity and make it even easier.
I got homework help, and my dad thinks I'm a genius.
America Online. So easy to use. No wonder it's #1.
Welcome back to the Residents in Scoreboard. We can update some scores for you. Actually, that's no change. Tennessee holding to a 4-point lead, 14-10 over Arkansas as they approach halftime. The Marcus Natch touchdown catch putting them up. Dante Hull has 3 touchdown runs as Texas A&M clobbering Oklahoma 51-0, trying to secure that Big 12 Southern Division title game spot opposite Nebraska. And Arizona State really opening things up against Oregon, 45-17 now, 10 minutes to play in Tempe. Let's take a look now to the big ball games next week. We'll get to Ohio State and Michigan in just a second. But first of all, Florida State looking so powerful, visiting the Gators, who, yes, have lost 2 games and, yes, looked a little bit shaky at times today. But still, it's been a long time since they've lost a home game, Lee.
Yeah, but Florida's got a major league problem. They don't know who their quarterback's going to be. They got great defense, great special teams, good coach in Steve Spurrier, but no quarterback. The Noles have got everything going in there, plus a chance to win a national championship.
Yeah, they're going to be highly motivated. I think Florida will have a chance, obviously, because they're playing at home. But for them to stay in this football game, they've got to be able to rely on that defense with the crowd, the defense to try to slow down Thad Busby, because right now I agree with Coach. Noah Brandeis and the Florida Gator offense is not going to be able to move the ball against Florida State.
No, they're still not settled. Spurrier using 3 quarterbacks today. Now to the Wolverines and the Buckeyes. Ohio State has been dominant. They look great coming in, but I just got something to show you.
That's it.
It's time to
Enough
face
said,
the winged
right
helmet. Maize and blue. Is this going to be the year as the role is reversed and maybe Michigan has more pressure?
We'll talk about that later in the week. But I'll tell you what, I think Ohio State is going to have to play better than they have played all year long. The Buckeyes, everybody's talking about how they're getting better. They're getting better. They're going to be able to pull off the big upset. We'll have to wait and see. The Wolverines are playing pretty well right now, that helmet. Am I allowed to touch that thing?
Not so fast, my friend, with the helmet. I don't know who's going to win that game, but I'll tell you what, Ohio State's playing as better than anybody right now in the country besides UCLA. But Michigan, I'm telling you, they proved to me again what a great football team.
Why you give me a not so fast, my friend? I didn't even say anything. I didn't make a pick.
Because you beat me so much.
I'm not allowed to touch
Plenty more to talk about that game on Thursday and, of course, next Saturday on College Game Day.
I think I know who he's picking.
Arca Bondo Mar High 500 is coming up next. SportsCenter follows that. We'll see you next week.